Baker Botts LLP provides podcasts for educational purposes only. They are not legal advice. This communication may constitute attorney advertising.
Welcome to the Environmental Evolutions Podcast, where we explore the changing landscape of environmental law and policy. I'm your host, Megan Burge, coming to you as always from my closet in Joshua Tree, California. This is the next episode in our Fast Facts series. The goal of episodes in this series is to break down recent developments or convoluted legal issues in 15 minutes or less. Today's episode will be less, but in this case, less is probably more. I am going to provide a quick rundown on the availability of more than $8 billion in renewable transmission project loans, announced by the White House on Tuesday, April 27th. Yes, billions with a B. So I'm going to set my timer and get to it. The new loan programs are a coordinated effort between the Department of Energy and the Department of Transportation and are intended to accelerate the development and deployment of renewable energy. For its part, DOE announced the availability of two new tools to finance the construction of high-voltage transmission lines to support renewable energy projects. First, DOE Loans Program Office is seeking applicants for up to $5 billion in loan guarantees for what they call innovative transmission projects, especially those owned by tribal nations or Alaska Native corporations. These projects include high-voltage direct current systems, connection to offshore wind, and facilities sited along rail and highway routes, which we'll get back to in a moment. Second, the Western Area Power Administration Transmission Infrastructure Program, which is sometimes referred to as TIP. This program is seeking applicants for up to $3.2 billion to fund and support renewable projects in the West. Let's move over to DOT. The agency's not giving out any loans. However, they announced new guidance to assist state departments of transportation in using public highways or other transportation right-of-ways. I told you we'd get back to rail and highway routes to speed the siting and permitting of transmission lines. The guidance likely deserves a whole other podcast for a deeper dive, but I did want to flag a couple of interesting things. The guidance also applies to broadband projects, vegetation management, inductive charging in travel lanes, and alternative fueling facilities, which is another way of saying EV charging stations. The Federal Highway Administration will consider all of these projects acceptable alternative uses of interstate or non-interstate highway right-of-ways, provided they comply with federal property management regulations. According to the White House, these actions, so the combined effort of DOE and DOT, will help more than 20 shovel-ready high-voltage transmission projects move from advanced planning to actual construction. Before we close out the episode, I want everyone to think back to our first Fast Facts episode, which covered the executive order on tackling climate change at home and abroad. There is a direct line between these new loan programs and the EO's recognition that sometimes carrots are mightier than sticks at effectuating environmental change. Unlike a regulation, you cannot roll back fundamental shifts in the marketplace. Maybe slow them down, but it's a genie that doesn't go back into the bottle. Now, make no mistakes, I'm pretty sure the sticks are coming, but I would ballpark those at fall at the earliest. And really, I'm thinking that 2022 is probably more likely to be the year of the stick. But I leave that for another day, and right now we can focus on the carrots. All right, that's all for today's episode. It was a quick one. As a reminder, links to today's materials are in the episode notes, including information on the Transmission Infrastructure Loan Program and the DOT guidance. If you have questions that you would like me to answer in a future Fast Facts episode, please contact me. I'm Megan Burge. Thank you for spending time with me.
Thank you for listening to this Baker Botts podcast. For more information on BakerBot's practices, please visit us at bakerbots.com. For over 180 years, through 13 offices in 9 countries, BakerBots has the experience, knowledge, and people to solve our clients' most significant legal issues. This presentation is provided by BakerBots LLP for educational and informational purposes only. It is not legal advice. Under the rules of certain jurisdictions, this communication may constitute attorney advertising.